What do you think about Canelo?
It's good. Canelo is good.
Canelo Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao are reportedly joining forces in training camp, each preparing for one of the most significant showdowns of their careers. Canelo is set to face the undefeated pound-for-pound king, Terence Crawford, a matchup already being billed as a historic clash. Meanwhile, Pacquiao is gearing up for a tough battle against rising star and reigning world champion, Mario Barrios. With both legends stepping into high-stakes fights, the timing couldn't be better to combine their experience and sharpen their skills together. The Canelo vs Crawford bout, set for this September in Saudi Arabia, is being hailed as the fight of the century, a collision of two undisputed champions and pound-for-pound elites, poised to make boxing history.
It is September between the two great fighters in our generation, Canelo Alvarez and Crawford.
This isn't just a major fight, it's a legacy-defining showdown. And what makes it even more intriguing is that Canelo Alvarez isn't going into it alone. Word has it he's training alongside none other than the legendary Manny Pacquiao. That's right. The Filipino icon, Hall of Famer, and multi-division world champion is reportedly teaming up with Canelo in camp. It sounds like a dream pairing straight out of a video game, but it's happening for real. Sources close to both camps confirm that the two champions have joined forces as they prepare for their respective battles. Canelo, coming off a dominant win over William Skull, currently holds all four major belts at super middleweight, the WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBF titles. That victory over William Skull wasn't just about adding another belt to Canelo's collection, it was a calculated move that set the stage for a monumental clash with Terence Crawford, helped in large part by a high-stakes deal with Saudi Arabia. Beating Skull didn't just solidify Canelo's reign at 168 pounds, it unlocked the door to what many are calling one of the most anticipated fights of the decade. On the other side, Terence Crawford is taking a massive leap, literally, by moving up 2 full weight classes to face Canelo. That kind of jump is no small task, especially against someone with Canelo's strength, ring IQ, and championship pedigree. But Crawford isn't your average challenger. He's one of only a few fighters in the four-belt era, alongside Alexander Usyk and Naoya Inoue, to become undisputed in 2 separate weight divisions. Still, going from 154 to 168 is a whole different challenge. The power, the pace, the stamina, everything shifts. And that's where Manny Pacquiao enters the equation in a surprising but fitting way. Pacquiao built his legacy on making those exact kinds of jumps. From flyweight all the way to super welterweight, he battled and beat elite fighters across 8 divisions. If anyone knows how to defy size, odds, and expectations, it's Manny, and to the world, this message is clear, we're witnessing something truly historic.
Canelo Alvarez!
But Pacquiao isn't just in camp to lend his wisdom, he's gearing up for a fight of his own. At 45 years old, the legendary southpaw is preparing to step back into the ring against Mario Barrios, a current welterweight champion and a fierce, hungry young contender with speed, power, and a point to prove.
I just want to say this to the world. It's amazing how a fighter can come from, I think, 108 all the way to 154 and knock out all these guys. To me, it's amazing. I guess he's just blessed.
It's hard not to get excited about what's happening behind the scenes. Just imagine the sparring sessions, the strategic discussions, and the exchange of respect and knowledge, of the most seasoned, disciplined fighters of this generation training side by side. Canelo brings his trademark explosive power, relentless pressure, and razor-sharp body shots. Pacquiao, even at 45, still flashes that legendary speed, footwork, and those unpredictable angles that gave opponents nightmares for decades. Training together isn't just inspiring, it's elevating. For Canelo, it's about preparing for one of the most cerebral and elusive fighters he's ever faced. Terence Crawford is a master of in-fight adjustments, a switch hitter who dismantles his opponents with timing, precision, and adaptability. Getting ready for a fighter like that requires more than brute force, demands brilliance. That's why this training camp feels so special. 2 legends, each facing massive challenges, sharpening each other every step of the way. In boxing, no matter how elite you are, iron sharpens iron. This partnership proves it, but that's not all. It's not just Canelo and Manny in the gym, NNY's son, Jamul Pacquiao, is also in camp. And he's not just watching from the sidelines. The young Pacquiao is right there in the mix, shadowboxing with Canelo, Absorbing wisdom from one of the sport's modern greats, there's actual footage of the two working drills, and the respect between them is clear. Canelo even pulled Jamul aside to teach him how to manage tight spots on the ropes, of those subtle yet crucial skills that separates good fighters from great ones. Moments like these show us something deeper. Canelo isn't just training, it's mentoring. He's growing into a leadership role in the sport, passing on the experience he's earned through wars in the ring. What's happening in that gym isn't just preparation. It's legacy building, our Canelo, for Pacquiao, and for the next generation. When Manny Pacquiao was asked about Canelo Alvarez and what he thought of him, his response was short, respectful, and straight to the point. He called Canelo a good fighter. It may have been a simple answer, but in the world of elite boxing, that kind of acknowledgement from a legend like Pacquiao speaks volumes. Sometimes, a few words carry more weight than a long speech, and coming from Manny, that's all you really need. When asked what he thinks about Canelo, Manny kept it humble and respectful. Canelo is good. Coming from a man who's faced legends across 8 weight divisions, a statement that simple carries serious weight. Manny doesn't hand out compliments lightly, so when he calls someone good, it means they've earned his respect. But it's not just Manny who holds Canelo in high regard. His son, Jamul Pacquiao, has been even more vocal in his admiration. He didn't hesitate to call Canelo the #1 fighter in the game right now, praising not just his punching power but the fear he instills in other fighters. Stay away from Canelo, Jamul joked, but behind the words is real respect. From a fighting family that knows greatness, that says a lot. Jamul broke it down even further, explaining that what truly sets Canelo apart isn't just his physical strength, it's how he moves, how he thinks, and how he carries himself in the ring. According to Jamul, Canelo represents the perfect blend of power and precision, a refined, more calculated version of the classic Mexican warrior style. And honestly, he's not wrong. Canelo has always been known for his devastating punching power and iron chin, but over the years, he's evolved into a much more complete fighter. His defense has become sharper, his footwork more deliberate, and his head movement smoother and harder to read. He is no longer just a pressure fighter, he's a tactician who breaks opponents down mentally and physically. That mix of intelligence and intensity is exactly why so many fighters, including the Pacquiao family, hold him in such high regard.
Same in the ropes. If you're right here, you can do something.
Canelo doesn't waste punches, every shot has intent. He controls the tempo of a fight like a chess master, dictating when and how the action unfolds. So when someone from a legendary boxing family like the Pacquiaos acknowledges that, it speaks volumes. It's not just fans or analysts giving Canelo his flowers, it's fighters and legends who understand the game on a deeper level. That kind of respect is earned, not given. It also makes you wonder, what exactly did Canelo show them during training that left such a lasting impression? Was it his ring IQ? His patience under pressure? The subtle angles he cuts? Or maybe it was just the way he carries himself, calm, composed, and always locked in. Whatever it was, it's clear that training alongside Canelo gave the Pacquiao family a fresh perspective on his greatness. Then there's the looming question, what does Manny Pacquiao think about Terence Crawford stepping up to face Canelo? When asked if he had any advice for Crawford, Manny seemed hesitant. You could sense he was holding back, not wanting to reveal too much. Maybe he spotted something in Canelo during training, a tiny flaw, a rare opening, but he wasn't going to say it out loud. Whether it was out of loyalty, respect, or simply part of boxing's unspoken code, Manny kept it tight. All he offered was this: if Crawford wants a real shot, he needs to invest in his speed. And coming from a man whose entire career was built on explosive speed, that advice carries weight.
Stay away from Canelo, man.
Yeah.
Canelo's #1 right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got #1 pound for pound. You got him #1.
Yeah, number one.
What do you like?
That's a classic Pacquiao response, short, sharp, and packed with meaning. Coming from a fighter who built his legendary career on blinding hand speed and elusive footwork, it makes perfect sense. Speed has always been the great equalizer in boxing. When you're up against a bigger, stronger opponent like Canelo, standing toe-to-toe is a dangerous game. You have to stay mobile, strike quickly, and make them miss. It's about angles, timing, and rhythm, not brute force. To be fair, Terence Crawford has those tools. He's slick, fast, and incredibly sharp with his timing. But hearing that simple piece of advice, invest in your speed, hits differently when it comes from Pacquiao. This is a man who used that very formula to defeat bigger, stronger fighters across 8 divisions, so when Manny says it, it's not just advice, it's a proven blueprint.
Yeah.
Man, he's just, first off, his power, you know, he keeps guys, you know, really scared of that power. And the way he moves, you know, he's very slick in there.
There's an interesting dynamic unfolding right now. On one hand, you've got Canelo Alvarez, the reigning king of the super middleweight division, gearing up for the biggest test of his career against a smaller, but incredibly skilled, Terence Crawford. On the other, you have Manny Pacquiao, the blueprint for beating bigger men, quietly passing on his wisdom not just to his son, Jamul, but perhaps even indirectly to Canelo himself. It feels like a torch is being passed in more ways than one, from one era to the next, from one icon to another, and maybe even from a rising prospect to a living legend who's still building his legacy. No matter how Canelo versus Crawford plays out, one thing is certain, this training camp is charged with energy, knowledge, and mutual respect, the kind of environment that produces something truly unforgettable. But what do you think, fight fans? Is Canelo versus Crawford a legacy-defining moment? Can speed overcome size once again? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth boxing content like this.